All right, the next thing we're going to cover, names Toriyama forgot. We love to give the man crap because he forgets about characters that he put in the series. Probably the most famous example is Lunch, who mysteriously disappears after the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai. In the TV version, we get a little extra filler with her wasted in a bar after Tenshin Han dies. But for all intents and purposes, he forgot about her. We're going to cover some names that Toriyama himself, the author, totally forgot about. First one up is Soba, or Shu. And the reason this is a name he forgot, in Chapter 18, Mai, who's the other henchman alongside him under Pilaf, she uses the name. She calls him Soba. However, in the rest of the manga and the TV series, he is named Shu. Now, what happened here is as Toriyama and Toei were getting ready to work on the TV series adaptation of the manga, this just totally flew by them. No one noticed that he had been given a name. So when they asked Toriyama, hey, you got to give this character a name, he said, all right, Shu, which completes the Mai Shu, Shu Mai, actually, name pun. And later on, when they asked Toriyama about this, he says, well, Soba is a name I probably used by accident, thinking I hadn't given him a name yet. So Toriyama doesn't even really have an answer for it. He's just like, I forgot about it. Sorry.
The next one, Trunks, actually. This one's kind of dipping into the pools of obscurity. So you never think that Trunks would be a name that is used more than once, but yeah, it's actually true. There's this really rare book called the DragonBall Adventure Special, which contains dossiers and profiles about characters. I think it was primarily just for Dragon Ball at that point.
Yeah, it was up to like the Piccolo Daimao stuff?
Right, it ended with Symbol.
Okay.
All right, so we have a profile for Ranfan from the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, and on her bio it lists her family members. Apparently she has a husband named Trunks, age 29. Wow.
Ta-da! Trunks exists.
Who knew?
And I believe there's a reason why he's named Trunks.
Yes, it fits in with Ranfan's name pun, which is on lingerie and foundation. So, trunks, boxers, lingerie.
Now, what was the story? Toriyama worked for some kind of fashion magazine, was it?
Yeah, he came up with Ranfan's name because he worked in that department of magazine, which explains a lot about some of the inside sexual jokes.
Yes, especially earlier on in the series. So, ta-da, Trunks is a name that, sure, I guess he forgot it. It was just this obscure name put away in a book somewhere.
Yeah, but at least he puts it to much better use later.
He does, and it continues on with Bra, for example. Heath, you're up next. You're going to tell us about Snow.
So next we have Snow, and Snow is actually an interesting case because it's not so much that Toriyama forgot her name, it's that he actually remembered it.
Yes.
In the manga, Snow was never named, ever, at the beginning of the series. So Toei came to Toriyama and said, okay, we actually need to call her something when she rescues Goku from the snow after he crash lands. So what should we call her? Oh, I don't know, he crashed in the snow. Let's call her Snow. That's pretty easy, right? So then they went ahead and used that in the actual episode title card. They credited her. Her parents are credited as Snow's father, Snow's mother. So again, it's just kind of something that Toriyama actually remembered, because in the manga, at the end of the series, Snow actually donates her Genki to Goku's Genki Dama. And as we see, Hachan actually calls her by name. So, kind of end of the series, beginning of the series, Toriyama actually went back and, for some reason, did research for once.
Yeah, the first time her name appears in the manga is at the end of the manga.
So we have to give the guy credit at some point.
He forgot it, but not really. Now, guys, remember we covered Mr. Satan earlier. This was a last-minute addition to our panel, and I'm going to tell you a little bit why. Names Toriyama forgot. Mark. He didn't forget Mr. Satan. He forgot the name Mark. We told you about this earlier. He discovered, Akuma, Mark, Maku. Yes, I'm so clever. It fits in with everything. How many of you guys remember a game called Tobal No. 1 on the original PlayStation? Yes, we got a couple out here. Great fighting game. It was 60 frames a second, I believe. Its sequel was as well. They did a lot less with textures and focused on the fluidity and the grappling system and combos. It was. I was and we're going to talk more about Tobal. Hold on, man. It's awesome. It's so good. Tobal 1 came out here. It was packaged. It was the game that came with the demo of Final Fantasy VII. That's kind of how they got it out to you. Tobal 2 never came out in the US. It's got this great expanded quest mode and a cajillion characters, and Toriyama did character designs for it as well, including a boss character named Mark the Devil.
Inspiration, maybe?
Yes. We posted this up on our forum on Daizenshuu EX just a couple days ago, and rather than focus on the name and how interesting it was, people decided to focus on this area down here. Like, seriously, guys, this is fun information, and you just bring it down.
It's just right there. You can't miss it.
It's literally in your face. So, a name Toriyama forgot. Mark, he had used it before in Tobal 2.
Does it count if you rip yourself off?
No, it doesn't count. That's
Okay.
We let Toriyama get away with it, as he's a special guy.